Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Contrary to our regular upbeat news, this time we've returned with a soul-crushing revelation from singer Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival. As more and more information comes into the surface, artists are now expressing their grief and shock about the events that unfolded at the festival. One such artist is Astroworld's own performer and singer, SZA. She spoke out about the event once it was revealed that approximately 300 people were injured and 8 people left the world. On 6 November, 30-year-old performer SZA took to Twitter to finally open up about her own feelings as someone who performed at the stage earlier that evening, just hours before the tragedy ensued. Speechless, SZA told her Twitter, "I'm actually in shock," said the songstress the morning after. Number 5. The case of the missing 14-year-old. Many are still struggling to put a timestamp on the events that happened that evening to find out exactly how many festival goers disappeared. Among the 310 injured that have been identified by family and friends, a 14-year-old still remained missing after 24 hours of the tragedy. In light of these events, R&B star SZA tweeted, "Just praying for everyone in Houston, especially the families of those that lost their lives." John Hilgert is reportedly the youngest victim of the Astroworld tragedy and was a freshman and baseball player at his high school. A news piece in Houston Chronicle highlighted Hilgert's text to a friend requesting his friend's early arrival so they could grab a good spot and good view of the artist Travis Scott.
Bro, he can't stand. He can't stand. Bro, he can't stand, bro. Hey.
Number 4. The narcotics injections that got the ball rolling. TMZ reported identified assailants in different sections of the crowd who injected the audience with opioids and other drugs. It is under speculation whether these drugs had anything to the confusion and mass stampede that erupted in the otherwise peaceful concert. A security person, per Finner, also reported being struck with a needle while trying to help audience members. Medical staff from Astroworld confirms the appearance on per Finner's neck as one from an injection needle. According to the police department, this revelation has changed the nature of the investigation to a criminal investigation that involves homicide and narcotics division.
The number of people hospitalized increased from 23 to 25.
Number 3. The bug that conquered it all. SZA's grievances were soon buried on her own Twitter by her posting pictures receiving IVF after the concert due to high fever. The R&B singer apologized for not hanging out with fans after the concert in a tweet with around the same word count as the one expressing her speechlessness for the crowd stampede. While 21 people were transported to hospitals, cops reported that 11 of those people were in cardiac arrest despite mild physical injuries. Following night, SZA informed her Twitter audience about having a fever over 100 while being COVID negative on a repeat test. SZA's tweet about her own condition that led her to cancel the Austin show was met with a mix of feelings from her Twitter audience, but most fans treated her sickness as an event separate from the happenings at the concert from hell, as dubbed by a fan's tweet in reply to SZA. SZA again apologized to Twitter and canceled her show that night in Austin due to feeling under the weather.
Describing what it was like to be trapped in what some have called a human sinkhole.
Number 2. Twitter's uproar for the accountability from performers. An enraged fan replied to SZA's condolences with a video evidence of Scott looking over screaming fans as a dead body floated through the crowd. The dead body soon became a black hole and crowd members continued to drown one after another on top of the fallen. Travis Scott was simply diverted to another section of the crowd. It's hard to see where exactly a performer is looking when on top of the stage, but you could judge for yourself from the following video. Many fans applauded SZA's apology, or more so, acknowledgement of the event. Twitter account @Hakeem2125 claimed, "SZA put out a better apology than Travis and she was barely even there," owing to the fact that SZA left without meeting her fans. Sources say even before the tragedy had even started, SZA temporarily deactivated her account from Twitter. Number 1. The aftermath. Many artists and performers, whether part of the festival or not, all came together and spoke about the fevered dream-turned-nightmare that Astroworld Festival became. Mogul Master P took to Instagram about his performance and mentioned in heartbreaking words, "My condolences go out to the people who lost their lives. Man, this was supposed to be a historical event." SZA has returned to Twitter after temporarily deactivating her account to avoid backlash. The victims have GoFundMe accounts in their names, and you can look them up and contribute to show support for these families after the irreplaceable loss. Scott was reportedly inconsolable after he learned about the show, took to Instagram, and is devoted to helping authorities and families of those affected by the concert. Fans and critics alike are raising fingers at Scott's apology and questioning the sincerity of it. Many even went as far to say that this was forced out of him by his lawyers to make sure he's not part of the court proceedings of this matter as a prime witness. All of this has left even the most devout concert-goers scarred for life. It is a horrendous incident that will follow Scott's reputation and upcoming concerts for a long time before we have heard the last of it.
Not everyone was in there to understand what I went through.
That brings us to the end of this video. If you've enjoyed the content, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe and check out other videos from our channel.